you want the best Team Clash decks in Marvel Snap, and I've got you. I'm a Marvel Snap top player. My name is Smlz, and I'm here to take you through the 5 best decks for the 5 teams in Team Clash. First up, Avengers. Avengers is best as an ongoing deck, in my opinion. This is cooked up by me, and the cards I added to the base 6 Avengers are Ant-Man, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Captain Carter, Superior Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and Iron Man. Now, 5 of those cards are also Avengers, except for Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man is pretty much always online with the Avengers ability of when after you play an Avenger, you give one of your other Avengers their +1 power. There's so much green power in this deck, and Superior Spider-Man just gives you a nice ramp curve because this is the, I believe, only default deck with a 6-cost card. You kind of want that ramp to get this guy out early, and in general, I find this to be a very, very strong thing to do. Just keep in mind that he is not an Avenger, so he will not buff Hulk, he will not be able to move your vision, all that stuff. Shang-Chi is also the cube equity card in this deck. I know there's no cubes, but this is what gives you the surprise edge in your matchups, and your opponents will not expect it. It is a very strong card in this game mode, especially to deal with threats like X-Men Cyclops and Man-Spider from Spiderverse. If you don't have Superior Spider-Man, you can replace him with a Jeff, a Kate Bishop, or a Scarlet Witch, all of which are Avengers, and Sam Wilson, the other Series 5 in this, is irreplaceable, as well as Captain Carter. Both of those are just so good. Now let's talk about the X-Men. The X-Men have the ability of getting +1 energy for each location where you have 3 or more X-Men. So the deck I chose was from Roaring Plays, and it is a really cool Juggernaut Valkyrie turn 6 deck. It's using Sunspot, Mystique, Esme, Cuckoo, Juggernaut, Iron Man, and Valkyrie. The idea is to Valkyrie one lane and Juggernaut the other on turn 6 to get a win. That being said, this deck is reliant on quite early tempo. If you want a little bit less expensive of a deck, because I know this is Esme Cuckoo and that's not really a replaceable card, or you want to just play a different strategy, another budget-friendly version of the deck involves Sunspot, Iceman, Jim Hammond, Havoc, Surge, and Magic. Now, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts reveal with +2 power at locations that you're losing. This one, I think everyone kind of flocked to Clog specifically because it is so strong. I personally went with Hood, Titania, Iron Patriot, Green Goblin, Viper, and Annihilus. You know I have 2 non-Thunderbolts cards here. That's because the Thunderbolts have such high base power that they're kind of just winning points by themselves, and you're just, with like 1 or 2 Clogs in a lane, you've just won that lane essentially. I prefer Annihilus. You can also use Merlin in that last slot, but in general, Thunderbolt Clog is definitely one of the best things to be doing, as it does a great job at countering both Avengers and X-Men, which are probably the 2 most common decks you're going to see, if not for this one. Guardians of the Galaxy. This one, a lot of people have had a lot of fun with, specifically with the bounce list. So this is sort of the agreed upon 12. You can swap out Nico Minoru for Superior Spider-Man to get the Doc Guapo version of the bounce list, who's one of the best bounce players in the world. But basically, you're adding Hood, Chavez, Nico, Toxin, Grandmaster, and Beast. These cards really want to be bounced. Drax doubles in power if you hit him when he's played. Bouncing that seems really, really strong. Also, stuff like Star-Lord that gives +1 to everything. That's good. Gamora can hit like Avengers Hawkeye. It could hit a strong X-Men, like maybe a Sunspot. Gamora is very good in this mode, especially at a 5/9 stat line that destroys the enemy lowest cost card. There's a lot of cards in here that want to be bounced. Gamora is an excellent finisher and interaction piece. There is a lot of good stuff to like about Guardian's Bounce. Although I think it's weaker than some of the other decks we talked about here, I think Guardian Bounce is still a strong deck, and you can definitely win a lot of your games with it. Now let's talk about the last one, Spiderverse. This turned out to be the weakest one, I think, just because some of these pre-con cards are really bad, and I'll explain why later. But first, Man-Spiderverse. This is the Spiderverse deck that I think is the best. It relies a lot on Man-Spider. You're using your Penny Parkers to merge, using your Agonies to merge, and then trying to go Man-Spider, absorbing Man Taskmaster to just get a giant card that your opponent has to interact with or else they lose. The main thing that's drawing this back is because 2 of the Spider-Verse cards are just flat out terrible. Symbiote Spider-Man is terrible in this mode. What he does is he merges into a similar card into one of your other cards there. He gains the power and then he replaces it with a card in your deck, which isn't that bad, but considering that we're a Man-Spider deck, interactions just don't work out with it. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Anti-Venom is really bad. So it sets he does what normal Anti-Venom does, but he has the text until it moves. What this does is, if a card would get buffed, like say your Anti-Venom hit Taskmaster, you think it's good, right? Wrong. Unless you move that Taskmaster, it is staying at 0. If you have a Kraven, and the other list I'm going to be talking about here, the Craven will stay at 0 even if you move cards into its lane until you move the Craven. So it's basically holding your card hostage until you move it for just a cost reduction, when this deck already has no problem getting out cards with all of the energy it can produce, getting +2 per turn pretty regularly with Silk. If you wanted to play a little bit of a different version and you might not know Man Spider, you might not like Man Spider, all that stuff, you can play a Hydra Stomper version of the deck with Craven, Silk, Cosmo, Hydra Stomper, Spider-Punk, and Juggernaut. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a quick guide. I'm here to get the best decks for you to you as efficiently as possible with this new Team Clash mode, so you can get your missions done and hopefully get all the way to Fastball Special. I've been Smlz. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.